What's going on, fellow Predator fans? This is Solid Dave Snake, continuing my action figure comparison reviews of the Neca Predator Series 13 Kenner Tribute line. And in this review, we're going to take a look at the Cracked Tusk Predator and compare him to his original 1993 Kenner Predator Cracked Tusk counterpart. So I'm really happy to have this series again because I have all of these Predators that were originally released back in 1993. And this Cracked Tusk was one of my personal favorites. This one and the Renegade Predator were two of my personal favorites, so I thought I would do these two reviews first. I've already done the Renegade, so if you want to go check it out, you can look back at my uploads. It's the video right before this one. But this may be the closest figure in this series to actually resemble its original counterpart. Whenever you look at these two side by side, you can really tell that they are meant to be the same character. However, they did miss the mark on a few things with the accessories. Paint-wise and overall of the outfit choice, he does look the same, but in the accessories, I think Neca missed the mark with a couple things. With the Neca version, they gave him one of these classic spears that a lot of the previous Predator action figures have come with, which the original Kenner Predator never came with a spear. So that kind of isn't fitting. And another accessory that this Neca version comes with is one of the smart discs, which is just like smart discs we've gotten previously in Neca Predators. However, it is colored silver and gold, which is a nice paint choice. It goes along with the Predator really nice. And they chose those same colors with the spear as well. So they are matching, but that original 1993 Kenner Cracked Tusk did not come with either of those kind of accessories. What he did come with is this huge shoulder cannon, which is articulated. You can move it all around to have it kind of folded up in the rear, and I really think it would have been neat for Neca to have done the same thing. However, this old Kenner Predator does have a play gimmick, which a lot of figures would have, and I'll show it off, try to hit his bigger brother here. If I can get it. There we go, nailed him. It shoots pretty hard. So that was a pretty neat feature, and of course, I can understand why Neca wouldn't add a play feature. The Neca Predators are collectible and have never had any kind of play features, and action figures in general have kind of mostly abandoned those kind of play features from the 80s and 90s. But it still would have been neat to have gotten a big blaster, even though it wouldn't have had to been functional, because all we get is this little plasma blaster, which is supposed to go along the rail to slide back behind his body, but it does not work that well on mine. I cannot get it to slide past this point, so I don't want to mess with it too bad. So they missed the mark a little bit, and on this old one you actually can take this off and remove it, so that was pretty cool. And they did stick with the same kind of shoulder look on this new Neca Predator. Has the same design on it. And the silver matches up real nice on the accessories too, between the two. Now, another thing that Neca missed the mark on is the mask itself. However, it does have that same type of scarab look to it that this one has. The Cracked Tusk actually has tusks coming out from under. If I remove it, you can actually see that one of his tusks is cracked. I'll get him up close here. This was always my favorite Predator head of these Kenner Predators too. I loved those big lower tusks. And what they did with the Neca one, instead of having the individual tusk coming down, they kind of added them on the face mask, which I think is kind of weak. There is one of the figures in this Neca series that has a removable mask, and it'll be the next figure I'm doing, the Scavenger. But the Renegade and the Cracked Tusk, their masks are not removable, so you cannot see his head underneath, which is a little upsetting, but I could have dealt with it a little better if they would have added the big cracked tusk under here. I would have been fine with that. But that was one thing I always loved about these old Kenner Predators, is that all their masks were removable. I really thought that was cool. So that'll cover the accessories between the two. But now let's take a look at the overall look between these two, the similarities overall. And we just went over the mask. They did do a good job on the new one, keeping the same form. It has nice red eyes underneath, and of course these little silver tones on the tusk and the mask. The dreads on the back. The old one doesn't have the actual beads painted on, where this one has gold and silver. A little bit of a mix of both. And they both have the same exact kind of wrist blade, which I think Neca did a great job on representing that, and it will actually extend as well. You can pull it out, whereas the original had no feature like that. So I think that's pretty cool, and actually has the same kind of tubing leading to the back that the old one have. The only thing it's missing on that right arm are the spikes right here at the top of the shoulders. They did not add those in on here. That's the only thing that is not the same between those two on that side. And on the left arm, he has the computer on the Neca version, but this old Kenner Predator has almost like a wrist blade. It's like a little axe on this side. That would have been cool if they would have added that in as well. That would have been neat. And they have the same kind of green tunic. Even has the thigh armor on the same side and missing on this side, so that's nice. Same ankle armor, nice silver matching tones between the two. And he has bare feet on the Neca version, where he should have had a little bit of armor coming down. That would have been nice. So they look really, really similar, and the color scheme really helps with that as well. As you can see, they both match up real nice in between the dark orange and lighter orange. The darker is almost like a brown shade, especially on the Neca version. Whenever it gets to the outside and on his back, it is almost completely brown. However, the bellies really match up nice, and I like that they kept the same kind of tiger stripe belly that's going on there with the orange. So that looks really, really good. And this body mold of this Neca Cracked Tusk is the same as the Lava Planet Predator from Series 10, which that Predator, the Lava Planet Predator, was based off of a repaint of this Cracked Tusk. So I find it weird that Neca did the Lava Planet Predator first, when this was the original Predator to come out, the original Cracked Tusk. So, alright guys, that'll wrap up this action figure comparison. If you want to see his articulation, check out my original review on the Lava Planet Predator, because their articulation is exactly the same. But I really like this Cracked Tusk Predator, and if you had the original Cracked Tusk, I don't see how you could pass this one up, guys. So, alright, till the next review, which will be the Scavenger Predator, I will see you guys then. Later.